One. Help me, someone.
Anybody? I'm not even here myself, so you got me all good. What's going on?
Welcome to the Wolverines, the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Tonight from Baldwin High School. It is start of conference play for Woodland Hills as they're on the road to take on the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders. Baldwin takes the toss. They have the football to start play. Hanchett takes the kickoff. It was taken by Isaiah Felix, and Baldwin will get their first possession at their own 17-yard line.
Certainly a better start than it was last week against Gateway with that opening kickoff going back 96 yards for the touchdown.
It's nice to be, well, we're not quite 14 seconds in, but nice to be 0-0.
Yeah.
It was 7-0 before things got underway against Gateway last week with Rick McIntyre, Bob Workwis. Apologize for some technical difficulties, but we're underway. The first the first conference game, the Allegheny Nine conference game, also the first game for head coach Lauren Coley here at Baldwin. And they will come out with a pro set, an I set. They'll send a man in motion, and the handoff comes to the tailback. It is a good cutback. Angelo Priori goes to the opposite side. He finds some room. He's over in midfield down the far sideline. Finally pushed out of bounds on a nice job there by Torrin Best or Rodney Denard. But a big pickup for Angelo Priori. And Baldwin, one play, they're into Woodland Hills territory on a 1st and 10.
There's a late flag on the play down there about the 30-yard line. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe an illegal block downfield, somebody getting a little bit aggressive.
Sideline warning, says referee Dave Barry. So Angelo Priori did a good job to break the tackle and spin out to the far side and gets all the way to the Woodland Hills 35.
Woodland Hills did a really nice job there controlling the line of scrimmage, getting to the ball first, but looked like maybe the right side of defense overcommitted, gave him that spin out, and he had just all day to run up that left sideline.
That is a 53-yard gain for Angelo Priori, the sophomore tailback, also a sophomore at quarterback, and Mason Stahl for Lauren Coley, his first year as the head coach. Lauren Coley gets to take the field for the first time as a head coach. He's got a good pedigree, comes from a very successful Clairton program. And Baldwin will split trips to the near side, and the shotgun to Stahl. We get a whistle and a personnel mess up. Lauren Coley takes a timeout. Baldwin takes a timeout. So it's the first game for Baldwin. We saw a lot of these same mistakes, Rick, for Woodland Hills last week. One of the reasons they were down not only 14-0 to the Gateway Getters, but also went down 28-0 in the contest.
Yeah, that happened really quick for the Wolverines last week. Hoping to see them kind of shore up the defense this week right here. There's a little bit of a check play right there to, like I said, they controlled the line of scrimmage there. But part of the defense just didn't commit to their responsibilities. Left the right side wide open, left the spin out. I'm really hoping to see the Wolverines bounce back, not only from that loss last week to Gateway, and stay focused and play within their means today and play their responsibilities today. But I'm hoping to see them bounce back from that big break there and shut this defense down and see what we can do.
So after the timeout for Baldwin, 1st and 10 for the Fighting Highlanders at the Woodland Hills 35-yard line, and the shotgun is Mason Stahl. Man comes in motion to the near sideline. Nick Latchett. Stahl to go the opposite way, flips it up there. That ball was intercepted. Nazir Taylor picks it up for the Wolverines up the far sideline.
He's got room. He
does have room, and he has plenty of green. And Nazir Taylor is going to take it to the house. A pick 6 for the senior Nazir Taylor. And just like that, the defense picks it up as requested, Rick. 6-0 Wolverines.
I'd call that a significant bounce back.
Ball thrown up by Nick Stahl, and Taylor picked it off. It was underthrown for the wide receiver down the far sideline. Mason Stahl had problems with the snap. Eric Oliver on the pressure. Underthrow it. It was picked off by Taylor, and Taylor goes 89 yards with the pick 6. So the Wolverines have taken the lead, but there's a flag on the play, so that's going to come back. Woodland Hills should have the football, which is a good thing. You'd like to be up 6-0, but you'll take the INT.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a deflator to get those 6 points wiped off the board, but after that big play Baldwin had, it's nice to just get the ball back and control the flow of the game here as Woodland Hills has a chance to do.
Actually, it looks like they're sending the offense back out for Baldwin, so that's a double whammy for the Wolverines.
I missed that call. I'm not sure what they called.
Take off the interception and give a 1st and 10 for Baldwin at the 20-yard line. That's a 15-yarder and a first down for Woodland Hills. Stahl will hand it off to the second man through, dotting the I. Short yardage for the run on Baldwin.
Another flag.
2-yard pickup. It was roughing the passer against the Wolverines. Marcus Taylor makes the stop. Another flag, as Rick mentioned. Legal substitution against Baldwin. So they'll take Baldwin to a 1st and 15. Lots of flags.
Yeah, about a flag a play so far.
Had one that was picked up. The big one, obviously, the roughing the passer, which took away the INT of 89 yards by Naz Taylor. So 1st and 15 for Baldwin. We're just 59 seconds in. Stahl will fake the handoff, roll right, flips to the man out of the backfield. It is the fullback, Zach Pettit. Pettit takes it inside the 15, tripped up there by Denard to the 13. That is a pickup of 12 for Baldwin. And it'll be 2nd down and 3.
Pretty nice pickup there by Denard. I think he read that all the way, saw the play coming, got in front of that blocker there and made a nice tackle.
Good play action, which sucked some of the interior, and Denard did a good job to come out to the near side and get Zach Pettit. He's a sophomore. 7 sophomores work for Baldwin in the starting lineup.
Yeah, a substantial number of sophomores and quite a few freshmen on this list for Baldwin.
High snap, and it's Priori. He is hit from behind by Eric Oliver, but he'll drag him forward for a pickup of 5. That should be a first down for Baldwin, a 1st and goal for the Fighting Highlanders at the Woodland Hills 7-yard line.
You know, something I saw from the limited amount of film I was able to watch on Baldwin this year is they like the draw play. You're going to see a lot of draw plays out of Baldwin, and it kind of feeds into that play-action play that we just saw there in the play before that. We know these Woodland Hills kids have been watching this draw all day. They're focused on it. They're looking for it. So the play action could wreak some havoc for the Woodland Hills secondary.
Then we get a whistle and a pre-snap penalty once again, a delay of game against the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders. It is week 1. Technically last week was week 0, so you're going to get a lot of these. We saw what happened to Woodland Hills last week. We're seeing it happen to Baldwin on this initial drive.
Yeah, I mean, something to keep in mind, and these are 15 to 18-year-old kids out there. You know, first home game of the year, there's a lot of pressure out there. It's very easy to make a mental mistake.
So they'll take Baldwin back to a 1st and goal from the Woodland Hills 12-yard line. They'll split a wide receiver to the far side. It is Aaron Exler. Also to the near boundary, Dre Howells. Stahl to throw, looking to the far side, flips it out there. Intended receiver was Aaron Novak. Good coverage initially by Woodland Hills. I believe it was Michael Roman. He got tied up, but good coverage. The pass is overthrown, incomplete. 2nd and goal for the Fighting Highlanders at the Woodland Hills 12.
Yeah, Roman did a real nice job here. Right off the ball, you can see him at the top of the screen there. He engages the receiver right in the neutral zone, stays on him. A good no call there. Could have easily been a flag there for possible interference because it almost looked like he was dragging him down. Excellent no call by the ref. Good coverage by the Wolverines defense.
I think it's 50-50. They were both fighting for that possession, and Michael Roman, the junior linebacker, makes the play. 2nd down and goal. Stahl with a sidecar to the left, looks left, flips it over. Oh, that was almost intercepted. Had nowhere to go, and they went back, and Michael Roman again was in front of that receiver. I believe it was Dre Howells. Roman was closest to that ball. 3rd and goal for the Fighting Highlanders.
Another good case of good coverage by the Wolverines. You can see him here. He's looking left. He's going through his progressions. 1, 2, nothing there. He's just throwing that ball away at that point.
Good pressure from Eric Oliver coming in from the right side, the defensive end. Forced Stahl to throw it short. We already had a pick 6 in this opening drive that was waved off by a roughing the passer call. Wide receiver goes to the left. Naz Penn for Baldwin. Twins to the near side, looking left. Underneath pattern, it is caught and hit immediately. Nick Latchett. That's a good read coming up by Rodney Denard. A short pickup of 3 yards. It'll be 4th and goal now for the Fighting Highlanders from the 9-yard line.
This is what we want to see from the Wolverines after that big play, breaking out on the second play of the game for, what was it, a 50-yard run. They hunkered down. They got the pick six wiped away. They're coming back now. They stopped them, holding them to a field goal.
So Baldwin will attempt the field goal. It'll be a 26-yard field goal. The angle is from left to right. That kick is up. That kick is good. And Baldwin is on the board. Jake Monroe kicks a 26-yard field goal. And the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders in their first game have their first lead for head coach Lauren Coley after the 26-yard field goal by Jake Monroe.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic here to watch a first-year head coach versus a first-year head coach here for Baldwin versus Woodland Hills.
I'm sure the same sort of jitters, maybe the same excitement that Woodland Hills went through, Rick, last week, and you were down on the field for that. Woodland Hills had the ceremony for Coach Novak, and then you have the opener against a territorial rival. Sometimes you can get too hyped up, and before they knew it, it was 15 seconds in. They were down by a score of 7-0, courtesy of the 95-yard kick return by Cameron Jackson.
Absolutely. You know, it's really easy for that home opener to come out really amped up. The adrenaline's running a little bit, and you burn through a lot of energy actually doing that. You saw that a lot last week with Gateway. I think came out pretty well hyped up, and within, I think by the middle of the second quarter, they had kids going down with cramps and expended energy, and it's really easy to go out there and overextend yourself very early in the game.
So Woodland Hills gets a touchdown taken off, but they had a 1st and goal, and they hold Baldwin to 3 points. So that is a small victory. It'll be Jake Monroe to kick off. Rodney Denard is back deep in the middle for Woodland Hills. Flanked by Naz Taylor to the far side, and to the near side, Jaquan Smith. Denard will backpedal and stop at the 1. Up the middle at the 10, the 15, to the right side, 20. Cuts to the outside, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's over midfield. The kicker, Monroe, has to come over and trip Denard up. But a big-time return all the way inside the Baldwin 40-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to start with really good field possession here after a very nice return by Denard here. This kid's got amazing feet, amazing vision. You can see him, he's got a backup for this kick. He's looking at the defense coming down. 1 cut, 2 cuts. He sees that right side, and he just takes off.
61-yard kick return for Denard. He led the team in rushing, scored a touchdown last week. I think the Wolverines did a good job running the football by committee. They had 187 total rush yards against Gateway in the loss. Daniel Taylor handed off to Denard. Looks right, goes right. Stiff arm 1 tackler, gets 3 to the 35. 2nd down and 7 for the Wolverines.
Looked like the classic Woodland Hills 26 wham there to start the game off. Just a little bit slow developing out of the backfield and didn't quite get to the hole while it was open.
Potentially, if not the bread and butter play, Rick, one of the bread and butter plays that Woodland Hills has used with great success.
Everybody in Western Pennsylvania knew when we were on the 2-yard line, we were running 26 wham.
And a lot of people in Western Pennsylvania couldn't stop it either. 2nd down and 7, the handoff comes to the near side this time, and another pickup of about 3 yards for the ball carrier for Woodland Hills. This time it was Jaquan Smith. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for Woodland Hills.
And right on cue there, I think they went with the second bread and butter play, which is the 21-22 wham. Just fullback leading up the middle, halfback following.
Blocking on the end by Eric Oliver, the tight end, and also by the left guard for Woodland Hills, Micah Lucas. 3rd down and 4. Ball's at the 32-yard line. A man in motion coming to the near side. It is Tibbs. Pitch to the near side. That is well read and denied by Baldwin's Isaiah Felix. He read the pitch to Jaquan Smith. That is a huge loss of 10 back to the 42.
Yeah, Keandre Tibbs was just kind of on a platform out there. Didn't know what. I'm not sure if he knew the right play call or if he just took a bad step, but he was definitely beat right there right off the ball by his man. You could see his reaction.
Felix, a junior strong safety, I think he just got a step to the inside.
He did.
Tibbs could not get there to make the block. So a 3rd down and 4 turns into a 4th and 14 and a punt situation. Whitehurst back to kick it away for Woodland Hills. High end over end to the near side, takes a good Woodland Hills bounce, rolls to the 15 and out of bounds it goes, and Baldwin will take over their second possession at their own 15-yard line.
Nice punt there by Whitehurst. I was reminded of a story that I had forgotten about. When young Whitehurst was first born, I was on the coaching staff with Woodland Hills, and his mother reminded me this week that he actually threw up on me, I think, within the first month of his life once or twice. So that's a stark reminder of how old we're all getting.
So Baldwin goes with the no huddle, as they do, and the spread set, usually the shotgun for their sophomore Mason Stahl. Last year, these two teams met at the Wolverine, a 48-20 victory for Woody High. They trail 3-0, 6.5 to go in this first quarter. Shotgun to the right of Mason Stahl. Takes the handoff, and it is Priori. Good job to follow along from the near sideline. Damian Thomas, who just followed along and made the tackle on Priori for a short pickup of 1.
Yeah, Damian had a nice jump off the ball there, came straight down the line of scrimmage as he's taught. You can see him here. He checks it, sees the ball, comes down, makes a great tackle.
He looked up, kind of surprised there was no purple jersey in front of him.
Well, at his position, it's very easy. If you step up and there's nobody there, it's easy to get too far upfield, and then you get caught in that counter. He did a good job there remembering his rules.
Twins either way. And Priori is the sidecar to the right of Stahl on 2nd and 9. In the shotgun, the delay, there's the draw, and it's read and stopped. And again, Damian Thomas, one of the men up there for Woodland Hills, along with DeJuan Howells. And they stop Priori for a loss of 3 back to the 13. That's a tremendous read by the interior line on the draw play. You talked about it. They knew Baldwin likes to go to the draw play, Rick.
Yeah, they've been practicing against his draw all week, and you can see these guys they're protecting their gaps, they're staying in their protection patterns, and they're doing a nice job getting upfield and getting past this relatively light Baldwin offensive line.
So 3rd and long, 3rd and 12. Baldwin at their own 13. Stahl to throw, looks to the right, pressure. He's going to roll the opposite ways over the 15 to the 20, being chased over there by Anthony Bullock. And he angles him out of bounds near the 22, which is a pickup of 10. They needed 13. So Baldwin is faced with a 4th and 3.
Another nice defensive stop by the Wolverines. Nice defensive series. They really didn't let Baldwin get any kind of ground here. If I'm a Baldwin coach, I'm not sure if I'm questioning this quarterback right here. He looked like he could have maybe tucked it upfield and gone for that first down marker, but I can't blame him for wanting to get out of bounds either.
So Jake Monroe, the senior, will be on to punt it away. Naz Taylor, Rodney Denard back deep. It's towards Denard, but past him on a line, and it takes a big-time Baldwin roll all the way back inside his own 20 is Denard. 25-30, spins away from a tackle and gets back to the 35. Not bad considering Denard had that go past him, and Woodland Hills will get their second possession of the first quarter starting at their own 35-yard line.
Absolutely. As a former coach, I'm looking at him making that play, catching that ball over his shoulder, and I'm not very happy at the moment he makes that catch. But when you look at where that ball may have ended up down to the 10 to where he was able to bring it back out, that's a nice 20-yard difference and very nice athletic play by Denard, which is something I think we're going to get pretty accustomed to seeing here from number 9.
So a 61-yard kick return for Denard, and now a 15-yard punt return. They're bringing the sticks up a little bit late. It's Wolverines football here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa with Rick McIntyre. I'm Bob Workwith. Second possession for the Wolverines. Taylor will hand it off. They cut move and cutting to the outside. That is Jaquan Smith. All he needed to get away from one tackle of Naz Penn. Couldn't do it, but nonetheless a good pickup of 4 yards for Smith on first down.
Very nice initial cut there. Looked like that play was going to go off to the two of the four hole on the right side. Baldwin did a nice job blocking that up, made a nice move around number 9 there, gets to the outside, just doesn't have enough room to turn it up and get some more yards, but it's a pretty nice 3-yard pickup on a play that could have been easily busted behind the line of scrimmage.
Isaiah Felix came up and kind of slowed Jaquan Smith down, which allowed the tackle by Naz Penn. 2nd and 6. Smith running the other way, good penetration by Baldwin. I think it's Naz Penn once again. He's all over the field for Baldwin. That's a loss of 2. Jaquan Smith is brought down in the backfield. Actually, it was number 7, Connor Sidoric, who got in there first for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders.
Yeah, as with any football game, if you control the line of scrimmage, you're controlling the game. Right there, that linebacker had nobody near him because the defensive linemen in front of him were doing a good job controlling their men.
Aaron Novak, one of the few seniors for Baldwin, shoots the gap, makes the tackle from the linebacker spot. 3rd down and 8. Shotgun for Daniel Jones. Rolling to the near side, sets, fires underneath, deflected away. It was intended for Naz Taylor, and Naz Penn makes the pass defense for Baldwin.
All right, first call for the pass for the Wolverines here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Not a bad play call. There wasn't much there. Baldwin likes to sneak into that 5 defensive back set, which makes it very difficult to throw anything into his zone.
Through into double coverage did Daniel Jones. Michael Whitehurst, on to punt it away. Ball was at the 37-yard line for Woodland Hills. There was a lone man deep. Baldwin gets a player in late. Back to receive the kick, Jaron Kelly for Baldwin. Good kick by Whitehurst. High spiral and a fair catch called for by Kelly. He takes it at his own 29-yard line. And Baldwin will take over possession with 3:24 to go in the first quarter at their own 29. They lead 3-0 actually. They make it the 30-yard line. A 26-yard field goal by Jake Monroe at 8:39 in the first quarter. Early points so far in this contest.
I think we've seen already more punts in this game than we saw all week last week. A couple nice defensive stands by both teams here. Nice efforts. And again, it's all about controlling that line of scrimmage. And it seems like on either side of the ball, the defense is kind of controlling that line of scrimmage right now.
So one big play, a 53-yard run by Angelo Priori. That's a big play. The other one, obviously the roughing the passer penalty, took away the Naz Taylor 89-yard interception return. Pro set, this time an eye back with a tight end. Faking the handoff is Stahl. He looks to throw. He's hit as he throws. It's underthrown. Incomplete. Michael Coleman on the coverage of Nick Latchett. But good pressure by Woodland Hills caused that incompletion by the sophomore Mason Stahl.
Yeah, a little bit of a stunt there on the outside. Sucked that deep offensive tackle, left tackle in there. Left that outside linebacker coming around on that razor. And there was just nobody there to block him.
So pressure came from the right side. Wide receiver will go either way for the Fighting Highlanders. Tight end to the near sideline. Eye backs behind Stahl. They'll hand it off. Priori tries to go right. He is stuffed. He's going to lose a yard back to the 29-yard line. Good stand up by the Woodland Hills defensive line. And there was our player of the game last week, Sidney Summers, in around the ball. He was excellent in the loss to Gateway.
He just seems to have a nose for the football. You know, Woodland Hills has had a long history of good linebackers that just seem to have a preternatural instinct for finding where that ball's going and getting up there and making a play. And I think Sidney Summers is adding his name to that list.
He was the Patrick T. Lanigan player of the game. Preternatural. Now you have to make me Google that at halftime.
I learned that from the Royal Tenenbaums.
Very good. 3rd and 11 with the clock winding down to 2:35, and Baldwin has some personnel issues. They had 2 players coming in motion. They're going to have to burn their second timeout. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa with Rick McIntyre, Bob Orquist. And after an early drive for Baldwin, netted 3 points. Both defenses have kind of settled in, right?
Yeah, it seems like they're both kind of settling into the game, remembering their responsibilities, remembering to think about the war and not just the battle in front of them. And this is not exactly the the complexion of the game that I was anticipating here. I wasn't seeing this coming out to be quite the defensive struggle that it has been so far.
Woodland Hills has had 2 possessions, resulting in punts. Rodney Dunard had a 61-yard kick return, setting up Woodland Hills in good field position, but it came away empty on that drive. Baldwin had a 53-yard run by Angelo Priori, leading to the first 3 points. Again, we're talking about a penalty, which took a Naz Taylor 89-yard INT return, roughing the passer off the board. 3rd and 11. Stahl will come to the near side, throws to the underneath man.
Oh.
And it is Nick Latchett, and he is drilled. As coming up to make the tackle was Michael Coleman for Woodland Hills, a gain of 2, and Latchett felt that one.
Yeah, I was curious to see what the Woodland Hills defense would do there. They played it fairly conservative. They kept everybody back, didn't run any stunts. Coleman just made a great read on that little bubble screen, came up and just cleaned the clock.
Big time hit by Coleman, the 6'1 junior defensive back. He had a couple of those last week against the Gateway Gators. Back to kick, Jake Monroe, little rugby style, comes to the near side, picked up by Taylor. He's going to go right, gets away from 2 men, he's got room. Oh, that's a good tackle, he breaks away from it. Over midfield, Taylor cuts it back to the inside, makes a move at the 38, over the 35, inside the 30, down the near sideline, to the 10, picks up a big block, and in he goes. Naz Taylor had one taken away. Let me scan the field. I see no yellow.
No flag.
And Taylor goes to the house with a punt return.
Not sure where he caught that. It looked like about a 70-yard return as the crow flies. As he ran, I think it took about 120 yards.
He went right initially.
He went right, and it's just flying down the field, sees the play developing left, makes a nice cutback here. And I got to give a shout-out to Rodney Denard here. Doesn't take the kick or the punt return. Looking him upfield, makes a huge block there on the 10-yard line, gets him in the end zone.
That's a great point. I was wondering who made that block right at the 5-yard line. It was Rodney Denard, a 72-yard punt return for a touchdown by Naz Taylor. And Chucky Hanchett is on to try to add the point after. That is up. That is good. Hanchett had 3 of those last week, converts another one tonight. And with 1:35 to go in the first quarter, Woodland Hills has their first lead of 2017, 7-3, courtesy of the Naz Taylor 72-yard punt return. Not taking that one off the board for Naz Taylor.
Yeah, we were both searching the field for that yellow flag. Excellent job by the special teams there.
There was a key right there, too, because Isaiah Felix had a beat on him, and he broke that tackle. He was on the right sideline, cut it back to the near side, broke another tackle. Good block there as well by Marcus Taylor for Woodland Hills, and then it was the speed down the near sideline. That was the punter, and that was Denard, and usually the punter's going to lose that battle every
would say
time. So Naz Taylor, who was had the choice for the play of the game, Patrick T. Lanigan play of the game.
Excellent catch he had last week for that touchdown.
So 2 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks of the season for Naz Taylor. The Jay Costa player of the game last week was Sydney Summers. Here's the Woodland Hills High School marching band here at Baldwin Stadium with Rick McIntyre, Bob Orquist. Late first quarter, the Wolverines have a lead of 7-3.
What a difference a week makes for special teams and the outcomes for the Woodland Hills Wolverines here, huh, Bob?
That's right. We had a touchdown on a kick return by Gateway. Now Naz Taylor takes one to the house, giving the Wolverines their first lead. Hanchett to kick it up, low line drive, bounces past the up man. One goes down to get it. That is loose near the 25-yard line.
I think Woodland Hills is on that. Looks like.
And making the recovery for the Wolverines, Tavine Brooks. And that's a turnover.
That's a tremendous play for the Wolverines. And that's half of why you kicked the ball that way in high school.
Yeah, Hanchett kicked it low, and one of the up men could not come up with it. We just talked about special teams. There it is, back-to-back.
There it is.
Special teams plays for the Wolverines.
You can see here it touches 1, 2. Well, no, it actually only touched 1. It just bounced right to the Wolverines.
1st and 10, Wolverines, man in motion to the near side. And off to Taylor Denard trying to go right. A little bit of a counter. He gets yardage to, we'll call it the 22, and give Rodney Denard a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, not much going there up that right side for the Wolverines on that play. Didn't get a whole lot of push off the line of scrimmage there. I don't know if they were maybe a little bit slow coming off the ball.
In a shotgun now for Daniel Jones, and he hands it off, running to the right. Denard has room, quickly inside the 15, leaps over a tackler towards the 7. He pays for that, but he gets a 1st and goal. He is up and at them. They put Denard in motion. There were several times last week that I was calling for Denard to take that when he went in motion, but a good job around the right end, gets to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal for the Wolverines on the straight job. Good job by DeJuan Howes to seal the edge for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, the more I watch this young man Denard, the more I really appreciate his athleticism and how he really fits into the scheme of the Woodland Hills football.
Pickup of 12, 1st and goal. And up Jaquan Smith around the right end, tiptoes into the end zone, and Woodland Hills has scored twice late in the 1st quarter. They've taken a 13-3 lead.
That almost looked like they just caught Baldwin completely off guard there. I couldn't even tell if Baldwin was moving at that point off that right side of the Woodland Hills offense.
2 touchdowns in a minute and 2 seconds for Woodland Hills. Actually, scratch that, 58 seconds. Hanchett they had the extra point. Smith had a touchdown run last week. He gets a 5 or 7-yard run here this week. Hanchett trying to make it 14-3 Woodland Hills. Low snap, good job to pick it off the turf by Whitehurst. Hanchett connects, and the Wolverines have upped their lead to 14-3.
Yeah, as a former tight end, I gotta give a shout out to number 17 Joshua Rawlings there on the right side. Made a nice down block, collapsed that whole right side, freed everybody up for just wide open space on that right side of the field.
2 plays in a row, Rick. The one right, Denard for 15, and then 7 and the end zone for Jaquan Smith. There it is out of the I formation. A good job by Christopher Jones as well, the lead blocker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pettit got a hand on Jaquan Smith. He was the only one. The rest was
nobody near him.
Smith, the senior, getting into the end zone. So Woodland Hills has a 14-3 lead.
All right, a little bit of breathing room here for Tim Bostard, finally.
Yeah, you'll take that. The first lead, and you piggyback a punt return for a touchdown by Naz Taylor, followed up by a nice drive for Woodland Hills. Jaquan Smith, the 7-yard touchdown. It's a 14-3 lead for the Wolverines. They've gotten some footing here, Rick, late in the 1st quarter.
Absolutely, and again, I said something earlier in the game. It's something we talked about when I was stopped by practice this week talking to Tim Bostard. We're looking for that bounce back factor from the Wolverines. Went down a little bit early with the big play, the touchdown called back, not to mention coming back from the gateway loss, and they're bouncing back in every way possible right now.
Same short kick, but it rolls to one of the deep men, and it is picked up by Dre Howes. He gets it at the 13, gets to the 20, maybe the 21. Baldwin will take over at their own 21 with 32.5 seconds left in the 1st quarter. This time the Etman got out of the way, let it get back to Howes. Howes got some good speed, but Woodland Hills did not let him get anywhere near the outside. Good job to come up and make the penetration from the near side.
So, Bob, if you're Baldwin right now coming out for this offensive series, what are you looking to run here? Is that so far nothing they're running against this defense seems to really be clicking? Nothing seems to be popping holes in that defensive line.
Outside of the first run by Priori.
Right.
Try to go back to that play. They've got twins to the near side, a wide receiver to the opposite side. They'll counter to the near side with Priori. Sneaks around a tackle, but can't beat the second man coming up to make the play as Marcus Taylor, the senior linebacker for the Wolverines. That's a pickup of 2 for Angelo Priori.
Nice play there by Taylor to step up, shed a block, come up and make a nice play.
Yeah, he was engaged.
He was engaged, comes out, remembers his responsibilities. Can't let that man get outside. He comes up, makes a textbook tackle.
Key to that is Taylor was engaged, but his eyes all the time were in the backfield and on the ball carrier.
Absolutely.
Last play of the 1st quarter, a good one for Woodland Hills as they score twice late. And after the 1st quarter of play from Baldwin, it's Woodland Hills leading the Fighting Highlanders by a score of 14-3. It's the Woodland Hills Football Network. It's presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Back for the start of the second quarter. Baldwin's Mason Stahl back to pass. Gets pressure and he can't elude it as he is dropped inside the 20-yard line. That was a good job by Tyrell Bartlow. Stahl stepped up, tried to get away from the first set of pressure, but he's dropped for the sack. And that is a loss of 5.
Let me apologize to all of our viewers right now if we were a little slow on the numbers and the players coming up off the field. I feel like we're about a mile and a half away from the line of scrimmage right here. A little tough to make out the numbers.
3rd and 13. Stahl rolling to the near side again. Pressure back the other way. Has a screen pass set up, and he threw it past Priori, who was the safety valve. Also Howells. And Howells was about 12 yards away. Rick calling for a flag. I think if Stahl wasn't out there on the edge, maybe it is intentional grounding. Nonetheless, an incompletion and a 4th down. So the Wolverines, Rick, after giving up the 53-yard run prior, their defense has been pretty good here against Baldwin.
Absolutely. Again, standing at practice this week, watching them going through their progressions and going through the game planning. They knew what they were coming up against with Baldwin, and it looks like the kids are really following up with what they've been coached all week.
There's another punt, and it's fielded. Taylor again makes a move. Goes the opposite way down the far sideline. He's inside the Baldwin 35 and forced out at the 32. So Nas Taylor is undaunted. He had the touchdown of an INT taken away, but he's been good on special teams, including a punt return for a touchdown. Now he sets up Woodland Hills inside Baldwin territory at the Fighting Highlanders 32-yard line.
You're kind of almost getting the feeling here every single punt return could go, all the way to the house here. Reminds me of back in the day when we had Stevie Bressner returning those punts.
He was kind of good, wasn't he?
He was not bad.
I think Nas Taylor's having that feeling as well. Shotgun for Jones, and he's going to roll to the right. Gets a nice block, still coming to the right. Has pressure from the inside, throwing it underneath. And man coming on a crossing pattern, Nas Taylor, but is short and incomplete. Good job on blocking on the near side by Jaquan Smith.
Yeah, it looked like number 79 there, Bartek, coming off of the defensive line. Makes a nice play. Comes in actually from almost a nose tackle position to put pressure. You can't see it on this tape, but the backside post was wide open. He just couldn't get his feet set enough to throw it that deep.
2nd down and 10. Jones will go back to the shotgun with Smith, the sidecar to the right. Twins either way for the Wolverines. Man comes in motion. They'll fake the handoff, counter the other way with Smith. Cuts inside the 30. Squares his shoulder up, gets down to the 25 for a pickup of 7. Making it 3rd and 3. Nice run by Jaquan Smith.
Nice run by Jaquan. Nice play call by Timmy Boster there. Throw a little wrinkle in, something maybe the Baldwin hadn't seen. I don't think we saw that play last week against Gateway. The fake reverse with the pulling backside. And then the counter
Lucas
coming
came near side, and they went the other way on the counter, and it worked. So 3rd and 3 for the Wolverines at the Baldwin 25. Jones will hand it off. It's a counter up the middle with room as Anthony Bullock cuts it inside the 15, trying to get inside the 10. He's dropped at the 10, but he'll pick up a 15-yard pickup for Anthony Bullock. 1st and goal for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, it's something that I always love seeing with these Woodland Hills running backs is you always see their head square to that goalpost. No matter if they're cutting, wherever they're looking upfield, they're dancing, they're doing what they need to do, but they're always looking upfield. Excellent job there, as you can see in this replay. There's a 26 wham. Nice cut. You see that
big
shoulders,
hole.
head,
big
everything
hole up
square.
the middle too, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and squaring up is the key. Bullock was one of the runners who had success in the backfield by committee. Jones is going to keep it. Hurdles a man inside the 5. Actually drop him just inside the 5. But get Daniel Jones to pick up a 5. 2nd down and goal from there for the Wolverines. Kemmerer makes the tackle. Jones did a good job, more so last week with his escapability, but he's capable of running the football.
Absolutely.
Got some size to it, 6 foot 218. Daniel Jones, the senior, under center, has eye back. 2nd man will come to the near side, tiptoeing, cutting, and into the end zone. It is Rodney Denard. From 5, he's into the end zone. Denard has his 2nd touchdown in 2 weeks, and Baldwin has upped their lead to 14-3, but there's a flag on the far side of the field. That might be a procedural call. It is. No, they're going to wave the flag off, give Denard a touchdown, and Woodland Hills has a 20-0 lead.
Yeah, another bread and butter play there is that they call that the 28 stretch, where it's the zone blocking designed for the tailback to take it outside the tight end. A play that actually developed after I graduated. I think after even Adam graduated from high school. I believe Coach Novak stole that from the Steubenville team that absolutely destroyed my senior year team.
Chucky hands it on for the PHC out of the Whitehurst hold. Trying to make it 21-0. Snap is high, but brought down. Hanchett is perfect once again. Woodland Hills, after being down 3-0, they've scored 21 unanswered. It's the Wolverines 21, the Fighting Highlanders 3. You're listening to the Wolverines in action here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa and on the MSA Sports Network.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
After the Rodney Denard 5-yard touchdown, they try to go an onside kick, and Connor Sidoric was alert, and he dives on it right at the W here at Baldwin Whitehall School District. But you're up 21-3. Why not? Special teams has worked.
I love the call. It's a nice surprise call. If you get it, you're jumping out ahead, and you got even more momentum. If you don't, I think Timmy Boster's pretty confident in the defense right now. And the defense that Coach Joe Samps is calling, that they're going to be able to stop him even if they give him this decent field position.
I love the call as well.
I like it. It's an aggressive call. It's probably not one that Coach George Novak would have made. As much as I may have been screaming at him from the booth to do so.
The north down the ball on the Highlanders 49, where they'll take first and 10.
Back out to play quarterback for Baldwin. I think that's a new player in a quarterback. It is Jeremy Jenkins, the senior. Takes the snap on the shotgun, fires to the near side, overthrown. Nick Latchett, the intended receiver. Anthony Bullock, Jaquan Smith on the coverage for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I like the play call there by Baldwin. The little 10 to 15-yard out there. It looked like it was open. Really easy for a young man to come out here first play, and you're going to be called to throw the ball 15, 20 yards downfield and hit that sideline. It's easy for that to slip away high.
Lauren Coley takes the sophomore out, puts the senior in. That's an indication of how well the Wolverines have played on defense after that opening drive.
It certainly is. Anytime you're switching quarterbacks in the first half, it's not a good indication of your confidence. 2nd
and 10 near midfield. We'll call it the 49 of Baldwin. Jenkins will hand it off. Nothing doing for Priority. First man there with Anthony Bullock, also off the pile, Torrin Best and Sidney Summers. That is maybe a loss of a half yard. 3rd and 10, we'll call it, for the Fighting Highlanders.
Who was this coming off the right side? Number 5.
Great job.
Anthony Meredith. Great job, great read. Very easy to fly too far upfield on that play and let that play slip inside you.
That's a good read. Good eyes by you to see Bullock coming from the opposite side and chase down Priority. Call it a loss of 1, so 3rd and 11. Jenkins the throw into the flat, bobbled and caught. But right there to make the tackle is Michael Roman as he's able to wrap up Latchett
to 9.
And Latchett does make the catch. He gets to the Wolverines 46. That'll be a 4th and 5 for Baldwin.
Nice pass here by Jenkins. He's got Sidney Summers lining him up from 5 yards away. Stays in the pocket, keeps his feet calm. Nice delivery, nice completion. Fortunately for the Wolverines, it wasn't enough.
Call it about a 4th and 6. They'll move him back a yard.
If I'm Baldwin here, I got to try the fake punt.
They have a punter in. Jake Monroe was out there, but they're taking a long time. 2 seconds, 1 second. They've already burned 2 timeouts. They're going to take timeout number 3. Let's step away as well. 7:38 to go, second quarter. Woodland Hills 21, Baldwin 3. Tuned into the Wolverines on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the MSA Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
Still don't know about.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
First game for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders and head coach Lauren Coley. They've been beset by some personnel issues. They've taken all 3 of their timeouts. Back to kick is Jake Monroe. He's going to fake it, trying to run right. Good read. He breaks that tackle, looking for the sticks. He can't get there. The secondary man came up and made the tackle for Woodland Hills. Tavon Brooks, absolutely.
Nice job. You can see him right at the snap. He's going back in his punt coverage. And like I said, if I'm Baldwin, I make that call every time. What do you have to lose at this point?
I thought the initial play was going to be made by Christopher Jones, who came up, but a good job by Monroe to get away from him.
Absolutely. Nice feet on Monroe there, but Brooks comes up and textbook open field tackle.
Textbook tackle, you're absolutely right.
That's just good coaching,
6,
good
they
following.
Get 5. That's good awareness by Brooks.
I think the timeout helped the Wolverines to set that up, to say, hey, look for that fake.
1st and 10, Woodland Hills at their own 42. Now the Wolverines have some personnel issues. They're going to take their first time out. Tim Bostard will have a huddle. In case you're just joining us, Baldwin had a 53-yard run by Angelo Priori on the first play from scrimmage in the game. And that led to great possession. The Wolverines actually had an interception on the drive, and Naz Taylor took it back 89 yards, but a roughing the passing call took that off the books, and it led to a Baldwin field goal of 26 yards by Jake Monroe, but the Wolverines were able to answer. Special teams big. Naz Taylor, a 72-yard punt return. Jaquan Smith, a 7-yard touchdown run. The Wolverines scored twice late in the first quarter. Under a minute and 58 seconds, they scored to go up 14-3. And then Rodney Denard, a 5-yard touchdown run. 9:13 of the second quarter. Hanchett good on all 3 of his extra point attempts. 21-3 Wolverines.
Excellent recaps there.
Thank you very much. Taylor in the shotgun, empty set. Sidecar coming to the near side. They'll hand it off. Coming to the right, Jaden Lucas. He's over midfield, cuts it back. Back inside, he's going to be hit from behind by Matt Bauman. But a good pickup by Jaden Lucas all the way to the Baldwin 42-yard line. Another first down for Woodland Hills.
That's, I think, something they spotted in films. When they go to that spread set, they spread them out enough. There's the outside linebackers committed to coverage, and it opens up that right side if you can get that hook block from the right tackle. And Wolverines did an excellent job there.
$16-yard pickup for Lucas. Another first down for Woodland Hills. Shot over the football, Andrew Alexander. Shotgun, Denard in motion. He'll take the handoff. Now they fake it. Good counter. Breaking tackles, Jaquan Smith. Trying to cut at the 35. He does. Inside the 30, inside the 25, down the far sideline, and he's forced out of bounds. They say he steps out of bounds at the 21-yard line, but that is a pickup of 21 for Jaquan Smith, and back-to-back first downs for the Wolverines.
Incredible burst of speed here by Jaquan Smith. You see him, the play's almost busted up at the line of scrimmage. From right there, he goes from 0 to full blast in about 5 strides. Makes a nice cut. Excellent presence downfield. Everybody making blocks. There's Rodney Denard again, hustling downfield, trying to get his man open and get him in the end zone.
Denard does have a touchdown, but he's been good. Made a nice block on the punt return this time. Jones, maybe a busted play, but he's inside the 20. If he's not tripped up by Baldwin, Daniel Jones may score, but he picks up good yardage on first down, really close to another first down for Woodland Hills. Call it 2nd and 1, 9-yard pickup for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying. Nope, that's a design play there. That's the 15 counter. It's a fake to the tailback right, draws them linebackers off, off the line of scrimmage. Excellent play call again.
Jones is comfortable running the football. 2nd down and 1. Ball at the Baldwin 12. Sidecar to the right for Daniel Jones. Man in motion goes Anthony Bullock. Jones takes it, and he does get it to his sidecar safety valve. They're going to wave him. They're going to say he was in the grasp. He got the ball to Anthony Bullock, but they're going to say he was down near the 18.
I'm not sure why this was blown dead.
I agree with you. Jones is a big boy back there.
I don't think anybody had a hand on it, did they?
Well, he was wrapped up, but I thought he got the ball out. His motion, he was still in motion coming to the near sideline.
Yeah, his legs were moving, his feet are moving. I want to see this.
Man goes in motion, and there it is. He fakes the handoff. They wrap up the ball carrier. It was actually sort of a fumble by Denard. It came back to Smith. Why is Rodney Denard ruled down?
Well, that's not Denard, but yeah, that's Daniel Jones.
Well, Jones got the fumble back, but they said Denard was wrapped up. I don't understand that call either.
Inadvertent whistle. Oh, that's unfortunate. But again, these officials are human, and I've been on that field, and this game happens very, very quickly.
Woodland Hills does they get a redo. That's the best way. There you see the man in motion. Jones does hand it off to Denard. Denard was wrapped up right there, but the ball was loose.
It had to be a ref from the backside. Thought Denard had the ball, blows the whistle dead.
They confirm they got it right because Woodland Hills gets the do-over on the inadvertent whistle.
Correct.
So it's 2nd and 1. They go to a different formation. This time Jones looks to go under center with eye backs.
Looks like eye back double tight. This is like a throwback to 1993 Woodland
Don't
Hills.
act like you're an ex-lineman and not loving that formation, right? That screams power all the way.
When I played at Woodland Hills, the tight end was not a tight end. I was an outside tackle, and throwing was cheating.
Christopher Jones is the up back behind Daniel Jones, and dotting the I is Anthony Bullock. They'll hand it off to Bullock. Tries to get off a tackle. Good read. Aaron Novak, the senior linebacker, drops Bullock. Short of that first down, it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it looked like the 22 wham play there. The fullback's supposed to take that linebacker out on the left side going up that one hole. And they ran a little bit of a stunt. He came to actually through the 2-hole
You picked the wrong linebacker. You picked the other linebacker.
Yeah.
And Novak came in to make the tackle. 3rd and short. Daniel Jones under center. Hands it off to Bullock coming to the near side and again tripped up. And again, he's going to be short of that stick. And again, Aaron Novak on the tackle for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders.
Yeah, Novak's having a real nice defensive series here, stepping up for Baldwin, trying to keep this game in check going into halftime here with about 5 minutes left.
Novak shoots the gap, and he shook off a blocker to get that tackle. So Woodland Hills, 4th and 1.
Yeah, Novak's not a big guy. He's, 5'11", 205? And they're mixing it up in the middle, making some plays.
Chucky Hanchett on to try to convert on his first field goal of 2017, called a 28-yarder. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is good for Chucky Hanchett. And Woodland Hills has scored 24 unanswered points. 4:34 to go before halftime. It's Woody High 24 and Baldwin 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the MSA Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment. Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at Baldwin Stadium with Rick McIntyre, Bob Workwis. Thanks to the outstanding crew here, the Woodland Hills Football Network, for sticking with us through the technical difficulties. Thanks to everyone watching or listening, whether you're watching on Facebook, listening on MSA Sports. We appreciate it. Woodland Hills has done a good job. They've overcome an early 3-0 deficit, 24 unanswered points for the Wolverines to lead 24-3. A little disappointed that they couldn't pick up a first and short on those two plays, but you'll take points nonetheless, Rick.
Yeah, again, Novak for Baldwin just had a great defensive series there. That's really the first we've seen anybody from Baldwin step up on defense and really make some plays. Unfortunate for the Wolverines, but for the sake of a good football game, it's fun to watch.
Hanchett to kick it away. End over end down the far side of the field, back to get it. That is Latchett. Coming to the near side, and it is Nick Latchett. Drop down at the 15-yard line. Now I want to throw this out there and I'll explain to you why. Normally you're thinking Latchett, he's a track star. He won a gold medal for Baldwin, but he's a pole vaulter. So that doesn't really help him on the football field.
No,
maybe has some
I think somebody gives him that pole, he might get over this tackle.
That's true. But that would be illegal, I think. I may not know much, but I know that would be illegal.
I'm wondering how many times Woodland Hills special teams ran kickoff coverage this week after that Gateway game.
Well, it's been pretty good tonight, has it not?
Absolutely. Everybody's staying in their lanes, keeping to their assignments.
They've recovered a muffed kick as well.
That's correct.
Second series in a row for Jeremy Jenkins. Straight drop, nothing doing. And the ball comes loose, but the whistle is blown. Damian Thomas, the senior tackle at 6 foot 225, swallows Jenkins up for the sack. A loss of 10, back to the 5.
A little bit of a different defensive look there for the Woodland Hills front. You see the overlide, that tight end, or the open side, and they just overwhelmed that offensive line. The center didn't know who he was supposed to block. Woodland Hills had more guys coming than they had guys to stop them.
I think it was Lucas Perfetti who was looking around. No, Perfetti's on the near side. It was on the other side, but he looked around, and before he knew it, Thomas, number 50, shot right past him to get the sack. 2nd and 20, the Baldwin 5. Jenkins is in his own end zone. Has pressure. It's a center screen, incomplete. They try to get priority, and it's off his hand. 3rd and 20 for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders.
You know, I missed it on the replay, but the play before this, again, I'm not sure that play should have been whistled dead. It looked almost
like
it
was a fumble?
It looked to me like a fumble. Again, I missed it on the replay screen here because I was running my mouth.
Well, that's
the second.
Technically, that is your job.
That is my job now.
3rd and 20. Thinking it might have been a fumble. Nonetheless, Baldwin in the 3rd and long. They're going to draw play to Priori. He comes to the near side. He's over the 10. Cuts it back to the inside. He's going to get over the 15. Near the 17. That's a pickup of 12, but they needed 20. It'll be 4th and 8.
Yeah, Wolverines are in the, like they say with the Steelers, the bend don't break defense. A little bit of prevent there, not overly aggressive. What can you say about a team other than when they're third and how long, and they're running the draw? They like running that draw.
Well, plus you're at the 5, so you like to do it. Sidney Summers actually made the tackle. Another punt for Jake Monroe. Clock turns, 3:10 left in the second quarter. Woodland Hills 24, Baldwin 3. Monroe will kick it away, and he muffs it. Kicked it to the near sideline, almost into the gut of the special teams coach, and that's not going to get the job done. The line of scrimmage was the 17. The ball goes out of bounds at the 25. That is an 8-yard punt. And Woodland Hills set up once again deep inside Baldwin Fighting Highlander territory. Monroe has done a good job up until that point.
He sure has. I mean, he's had plenty of opportunities to punt the ball this evening. Again, one of the younger guys with Baldwin. They got a lot of sophomores on that field, a lot of inexperience. And one out of every so many kicks is going to just go that way when you're in a high school kid. It's going to go off the side of the foot. It's unfortunate right now, and my heart breaks for that kid right now. He's not happy on that sideline.
Jones in the shotgun. He's going to roll opposite. Jaquan Smith was the sidecar. He can run it if he wants. He does tuck it under inside the 20. Hit from behind. Gets near first down yardage to the 15. Jones again mentioned it, very comfortable running the football. Brought down from behind by Noah Bartik, but he picked up 10 and a first down for Woody High.
It's something I actually spoke with Tim Bossert about this week. There were a couple plays last week where I think he had the chance to run for that first down, and he's looking for the bigger play, maybe thinking he's Ben Roethlisberger's going to dance around and make that play. You know, Wolverines football is, if you can run it as far as you can throw it, you run it.
1st and 10 from the 15. Smith, the sidecar, left Denard in motion. They fake the handoff counter to Smith. Has room. Cuts inside the 10, makes a cutback move towards the 5. He's going to get a first down to the 4-yard line, an 11-yard pickup for Jaquan Smith. We saw him juke and jive into the end zone last week. Rick has brought those dance moves with him here tonight, especially on that run.
Yeah, he's looking really strong on his feet today. Like, if he was a hockey player, you'd say he was skating high, you know, and really got the bounce tonight.
Good block downfield by Andre Hilliard, the senior. You talked about him with me off the air in the pregame. You're high on Andre Hilliard, who's a big frame. He just doesn't have a lot of weight on that frame.
Absolutely. You know, as somebody that looked at kids that were going to be going to play college football, he's got the frame. I know there's some college scouts looking at that body.
You can always put weight on. Jones is going to take a timeout. 1:48 to go in the second quarter. And Woodland Hills leads 24-3. They take their second timeout. It's always good to be on the same page, especially when you're faced with a 1st and goal. Last series, we saw Woodland Hills have a 2nd and 1, a 3rd and 1 they could have converted. So I like when you take the timeout to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Absolutely. And, you know, they've got, it's a minute 48 left. They've got their timeouts left. You know, you can't save them. They're not going to convert to the second half. If you got them, use them.
You'd like to come away with 6 or preferably 7 instead of 3, but you take points. It's been 24 unanswered for the Wolverines. Daniel Jones has done a nice job. He ran the football fairly well. He threw last week against Gateway for 86 yards, touchdown, and 1 interception. But he was part of the running back by committee, or the runners by committee, that ran for 187 yards. Smith had a touchdown. Denard had a touchdown. Each of those players have touchdowns tonight. Next week here on the Wolverines Football Network, Woodland Hills back at home against Fox Chapel. 1st and goal from the 4, cutting inside. Bullock, he stripped up, dives towards the end zone, and they're going to give him the touchdown. A 4-yard touchdown run for Anthony Bullock, and Woodland Hills has taken a 30-3 lead.
Not the best look on that replay. Something from the goal line may have shown it. Finally, a call finally goes the Woodland Hills direction.
Speaking of that, they had that touchdown by Gateway, which probably should not have been a touchdown last week, and that was one of the keys to that game. Did Bullock get in? Hard to see from this side. He was reaching out the football. The question is, did he cross the plane on the goal line before getting it? Doesn't matter. Touchdown is on the board. Hanchett's extra point is on the board as well.
Well, I'll tell you, from the limited replay we just saw again back in slow motion, if he was able to get that ball across the goal line, he made one heck of an athletic move to get it there.
4-yard touchdown for Anthony Bullock. 31-3 Woodland Hills. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, the MSA Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, We offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
Back for the Highlanders, number 9, Nick Letchett, and 22, Isaiah Felix.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
After the Bullock touchdown, the kick is taken by Baldwin. There's a flag on the play. The return man was dropped down around the 12. And we'll see what Dave Barry has to say. Late hit against Woodland Hills.
Yeah, it's interesting. As we were coming back from the break there, something I wanted to hit on is when you're up this big, something that's very, very important as a coaching staff is discipline. Very easy to get into some ticky-tacky fouls. Baldwin down 31-3 is going to start maybe throwing some low blows, doing some nasty stuff in the scrum, and Woodland Hills has got to stay above that fray and stay penalty free.
It sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Yeah. I've done some. If you knew the things I did on that field, you probably wouldn't sit next to me right now. 1st
and 10. Baldwin with their own 27. Jenkins will run the option to the right. Woodland Hills has that sniffed out.
Excellent job by the defense here to make that
back
read.
in, yeah. Great read on the option.
Great read. They were all over that. Nobody was fooled. Again, I give credit to Joe Samsa, longtime coach of the Woodland Hills Wolverines, coach when I was playing. He does a great job with this defensive secondary and keeping them addressed on what plays are coming, knowing the tendencies, and staying in your responsibilities.
Zach Pettit was dropped for a loss of 2. 2nd and 12 for the Fighting Highlanders. Under a minute to go before halftime. Stahl was back in. Straight drop, firing down the middle of the field. Dre House trying to get there. Intercepted. Coming over to make the INT, Michael Whitehurst. A beautiful pick by the senior Whitehurst.
Athletic move there by Michael Whitehurst. Again, knowing him from the time he was a little newborn baby, to see him making that play out here is something special.
Straight down the middle, and Howes has speed, but Whitehurst kind of came underneath.
Came over the top. Great athletic play here. Gets over the top.
Yeah, he did come back from underneath.
Gets up in the air there and makes a nice play, nice hands. He's an excellent wide receiver for the Wolverines. Just general, all-around good football player is Whitehurst.
Backup quarterback. He's the holder as well. He had a couple catches in the Gateway opener last week. Great INT for Whitehurst. Woodland Hills at their own 45. They have a timeout remaining, 44.6 seconds to go before intermission. All kind of time for Jones. Cuts it back the other way. Has plenty of green. Makes a move at the midfield. Makes a move back the other way. Still on his feet. Then he uses that size to get inside the 45 to the 44. A pickup of 11 for Daniel Jones and a first down for Woodland Hills.
Jones does a nice job there. Breaks about 6 ankles, I think, on the same kid on 2 cuts there. Takes him left, cuts back right, cuts back left again. And that poor kid for Baldwin didn't know whether to shine his shoes or wind his watch.
Clock does not stop. It restarts after the first down. Woodland Hills electing not to take their final timeout. It's down to 10 seconds. Jones to throw. Tries to step up. And he's hit. He did step up. But at the last second, he got hit from the opposite side. I think it was Bardick. We've called his name a couple times. It's an incompletion. It does stop the clock with 4.5 seconds to go before halftime.
It's a surprising play call there by the Wolverines. Again, that's not something you'd see under the George Novak era.
I thought they should have taken the timeout.
10 seconds left. You
Well,
run the ball up the middle and you go into halftime.
Yeah, that's true. They were looking to throw. Now the clock does stop. You'll have a wide receiver, Jaden Lucas, to the far boundary, trips to the near side. Taylor is in the middle of the 3 wide receivers out to the right. Jones has a sidecar to the near side. He's just going to throw it underneath Jaden Lucas makes the catch. Cutting to the near side, spins inside the 30. Drop from behind at the 26-yard line. That is a pickup of 18 on the first completion of the game for Daniel Jones and the final play of the first half. That's just a case where you're hoping Lucas could break a tackle or two, Rick, and
absolutely
take it into the end zone.
Low risk play. Personally, I would have ran the ball, but I'd run the ball about every play.
Again, you are under the George Novak tutelage, correct?
Yes, sir. Throwing is cheating. But a nice delivery there by Jones. Good read. Hits his first man on the progression because he was open. And again, you hope the athleticism of the Woodland Hills receiver is going to get past that secondary. And at the very minimum, it's a nice stat patter.
Indeed it is. The first completion for Daniel Jones. There's the upcoming, or the MSA Sports Top 10. You see Woodland Hills, number 7 in the Class 5A Top 10. And next week, Woodland Hills returns home to take on Fox Chapel. But they're on the road here tonight. They've done a good job. They were down 3-0, and the Wolverines scored 31 unanswered points to take a 31-3 lead into halftime. We'll take a break. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the MSA Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
A-Boss Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at A-Boss will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, A-Boss Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make A-Boss Opticians your opticians. Call A-Boss Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abossopticians.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Welcome back to Baldwin Stadium, Baldwin High School with Rick McIntyre. Bob Work was halftime. And the Woodland Hills Wolverines in their section opener here in the Allegheny Nine Conference on the road. They went down 3-0 undaunted. They scored 31 unanswered. And at the half, it's Woodland Hills 31, Baldwin 3. Jake Monroe got Baldwin on the board with a 26-yard field goal at 8:39. 3-0 lead for Baldwin. All after that, turquoise and black, actually white and turquoise and black here on the road. Nas Taylor got Woodland Hills up and moving with a 72-yard punt return for Desir Taylor, the senior, at 1:35 of the first half to make it 7-0. And then Jaquan Smith, 58 seconds later, a 7-yard touchdown run, and that made the score Woodland Hills 14-0. Roddy Denard, 2 minutes and 47 seconds into the second quarter, got a 5-yard touchdown run. Hanchett's extra point was good. 21-3 Woodland Hills. Chucky Hanchett, his first field goal of the 2017 season at 4:34 of the second quarter, made it 24-0. And then Anthony Bullock, a 4-yard touchdown run with 1:43 to go before halftime. Hanchett's extra point was good. 31-3, you add it all up. It's a feel-good first half for Woodland Hills outside of the first series, Rick.
Yeah, again, the first series, to me, I think is a feel-good series. They overcame the 53-yard run, overcame getting that the pick six wiped away, didn't lose their focus, didn't lose their discipline, and held them down to a field goal when they came out right off the gap and had really good field position. And again, like I've been saying all night, it's about that bounce-back factor for Woodland Hills.
I think defensively, Woodland Hills has been solid the entire game, maybe outside of the 53-yard run by Angelo Priori. You mentioned the pick six from Nas Taylor that was taken away. Offensively, it took them a couple series, but they seem to find a rhythm. It's the rhythm that they found against Gateway in the third quarter tonight. They had it here after the first couple of series, Rick.
Yeah, it certainly seems like after the first series or two, when it was back and forth, it was punt, punt, punt. Woodland Hills seemed to find some kind of a chemistry that's working, and a lot of that just comes with seeing what play you call against what defense and seeing what's working. It seems like no matter what they call right now, everything's clicking on all cylinders.
Woodland Hills 31, Baldwin 3 at halftime here at Baldwin Stadium. The Woodland Hills marching band is out entertaining the fans here at halftime. We'll take a look and a listen to the Wolverines, and it's the Woodland Hills Football Network presented by State Senator Jay Costa. Welcome back to Baldwin Stadium with Rick McIntyre, Bob Orkwitz. Woodland Hills on the road, their conference opener in the Allegheny Nine, a 31-3 lead at halftime. Woodland Hills ran the football in the first half for 147 yards of the 167 yards unofficially. Rick, they held Baldwin to 99 total yards, so good job on both sides of the ball by Woodland Hills.
Yeah, 99 yards total offense for Baldwin. If you're a Woodland Hills coach and you just hear that stat alone, that feels like a lot of yards. But obviously you look at the scoreboard and, you take away that 153-yard play, and Woodland Hills defense has done a really effective job of shutting down just about everything Baldwin's trying to put up against them.
Jake Monroe kicked a 26-yard field goal for the Fighting Highlanders. It was 3-0. Nas Taylor, a 72-yard punt return. Jaquan Smith, a 7-yard run. Ronnie Denard, a 5-yard touchdown run. Chucky Hanchett kicked a field goal of 28 yards to make it 24-3, and then Anthony Bullock, a 4-yard touchdown run. That is your scoring recap, a 31-3 lead for Woodland Hills here at halftime. And it's a really good job. They shrugged off the 53-yard run, as you talked about. They also shrugged off that unfortunate roughing the quarterback penalty, which took points off the board, or Nas Taylor would have had an 89-yard INT return the other way. They shrugged it off, and they did a great job in the first 24 minutes.
Well, the saying in the Woodland Hills locker room is, to achieve, you must endure. And this team tonight, it seems to be the embodiment of that. They endured that little bit of an embarrassing loss last week against Gateway. A couple things slipped out of hand. Ended up only being a 12-point difference. But I know they took that loss really hard, with everything that was going on that night, with dedicating the field to legendary coach George Novak. They really wanted to win that game, with him in the crowd, and such a special night. But again, I keep saying again, over and over again, the bounce back. And they bounced back from that game, came up against maybe not the toughest Baldwin team that Woodland Hills has seen. It's a lot of young kids. But any high school football team that you can dominate 31-3 in the first half, you're obviously staying disciplined, and you're doing what you've been coached to do all week.
Third quarter comes your way next. At the half, Woodland Hills 31, the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders 3. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, the MSA Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Thank you.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342. There are few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn in Swissvale. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn. Today's broadcast of Woodland Hills football is brought to you by the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club. Since 1905, Rotary clubs across the globe have brought business and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club meets every Friday at noon at Shelly Pie. Rotary, service above self.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Technical staff here bringing this broadcast to you. Thanks to all our sponsors, including State Senator Jay Costa, longtime sponsor. They're all happy tonight. Woodland Hills leading 31-3 at the half. They get the football to start quarter number 3 as well, Rick.
Absolutely, and we just talked about it a little bit off air. We come in here pretty equipped with the starting numbers and the starting rosters and everything. I think after this first drive, depending on how it goes, I think we're going to start hunting for some of those lower classmen numbers and jerseys on the Woodland Hills side. As coaches like to say, it's going to be time to put the pups in pretty soon.
First game for Lauren Coley as head coach of the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders. Second game for Tim Bostard here for Woodland Hills. They have a 28-point lead at the half. Nazir Taylor, he has been really good tonight. He had an interception return for a touchdown, was taken away, but a big-time punt return, which sparked Woodland Hills. He's to the near side. Rodney Denard is in the middle. Jaquan Smith to the far sideline, deep to receive the kickoff from Jake Monroe for Baldwin. They pooch it, little onside kick. Woodland Hills is ready for that. Nice job to go up the ladder and get that as he took the hit by Seth Beadle. And Woodland Hills will have good field position to start the second half.
Yeah, I got a feeling that was something that that special teams was on alert for. As they lined up, I thought there's no way they're kicking this ball deep to Rodney Denard.
That's twice we've seen Baldwin go for an onside kick.
I'm not so sure that was necessarily an onside effort. I think that was more of a pooch.
I think he
was trying to get it over his head into a soft spot.
1st and 10, Woodland Hills at their own 43. Daniel Jones is under center. Handed off, it is Denard coming to the near side, makes a cut, uses stiff arm at midfield, slices his way through another tackle. Good job by Latchett to stay on him. Dre Howe as well to bring Denard down. He picks up 9 to the Baldwin 48-yard line.
Nice job here on the right side of the Woodland Hills offensive line. Nice job there on the slot back. Made an excellent hook block there. Sealed off that right side.
Jeremy
and
Thomas
Denard's off to the races.
Jeremy Thomas also making a good block downfield. Nazir Taylor with a good block. Also the tight end Eric Oliver on the near side. Again, he's to the near side. Again, it's Denard. Just puts his head down into the middle of the line. He needed 1. He picked up 3. First down, Woodland Hills.
I think this is going to be basically all the offense you're going to see from Woodland Hills at this point, unless they, if Timmy is thinking about putting some stuff on film for the upcoming games, maybe you throw a couple wrinkles in the offense here and give that next team, give Fox Chapel something a little bit extra to practice against on film.
Tim Bostard, the head coach here at Woodland Hills, long-time assistant coach, also played under George Novak. 1st and 10, Jones is going to throw, quick out, far side, caught, first down yardage. I believe that's Nazir Taylor. He spins off a tackle. It is Taylor. He's inside the Baldwin 30 to the 28-yard line. As a pickup of 17 and a first down for Woodland Hills.
Nice little 8 to 10-yard curl route there, 3-step drop. Looked like jam blocking on the backside, fan blocking on front. Excellent job giving him enough time. Nice job after the catch, picking up as many yards as he could.
Nice job holding on to the football as well for Nazir
Absolutely.
Taylor. Almost dropped it, but he's a big play man. He has a touchdown on the punt return, 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks, had an interception for a touchdown taken away. Denard bounces off the tackle, comes to the near side, inside the 25, cuts back, inside the 20, dropped down from behind by Aaron Novak at the Baldwin 19. That's another pickup of 9 for Rodney Denard.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that tonight, Bob, where the play looks like it's dead in the backfield of Woodland Hills? And whether it's Denard, whether it's anybody running the ball right now for Woodland Hills, they're bouncing off tackles, they're keeping their head upfield, moving their feet. Look at those high knees. Excellent job by Denard.
47 yards now unofficially for Denard. Another handoff up the gut. It was a new man into the backfield, Seth Beadle. That's a first down for Woodland Hills as the Wolverines get the ball to the 15-yard line. A pickup of 4 for Seth Beadle. Third first down on the drive for Woodland Hills. So Beadle puts his name into the running back by committee for the Wolverines. They've done a good job in the first 2 weeks running the football. Over 320 yards now, closer to 340 running in the first 2 games of 2017. Jones will fake the handoff, roll to the near side, setting, goes to the 15, fires to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Nazir Taylor.
Yeah, just a complete breakdown in coverage there by Baldwin. It's easy enough to do. When that quarterback's moving, you don't know if he's running. It's easy to step up. I couldn't tell who it was. Baldwin.
And that's the second touchdown of the game for Naz Taylor. It's coming off the board.
What did they call there?
Couldn't hear the call.
It looked like maybe a man downfield.
Yeah, with a 5-yard penalty, that would take it back to the 20-yard line. So Taylor had an 89-yard interception return for a touchdown taken off the board. Now a 15-yard touchdown pass from Daniel Jones comes off the books.
I'd run the same play again.
High backs, they'll fake that up to Denard, end around to Taylor. He's got plenty of room to the far side. He's going to go untouched from 20. No flags this time, and Taylor waltzes in. You take it away, but you can't take it away on that play. Naz Taylor in from 20.
Another great play call here by Timmy Bossard. It's essentially the same play there. If you saw the setup, that's the same play they ran on that pass play that was called back, except they add that wrinkle for that end-around reverse. And everybody on the right side of the Baldwin defense bought it, and nobody left there to stop them.
You know, and if we see the replay again, there was a man there to get a seal block for Taylor. He didn't need it. There was really no one out there.
No.
Hanch's extra point is up and good, and Woodland Hills adds to their lead. It's Woodland Hills 38 and Baldwin 3, 9:02 to go in the third quarter. You're tuned in to Woodland Hills and Baldwin on the Woodland Hills Football Network, the MSA Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Gateway, 35-6.
Back at Baldwin, the ensuing kickoff by Hanchett is picked up by Naz Penn. Breaks the tackle for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders, breaking more tackles on his feet over the 30 to the 38-yard line. Nasir Penn, the sophomore, did a good job to break tackles, and that's what you want to see down by 35. Some get up and go, and he gets the ball out to the 37-yard line. The best field position, a starting field position for the Fighting Highlanders in quite some time.
Yeah, I don't anticipate this Baldwin team to just roll over at any point here. They're going to keep fighting and keep moving uphill to get those yardage. I got a feeling the coaches are going to have a heyday with that kickoff coverage when they look at that on film.
Jeremy Turner, as well as William Clark on the tackle for Woodland Hills. Baldwin starts at their own 27. They've gone with a couple of quarterbacks, and it looks like it is Stahl back, and he hands it off to Angelo Priori. There's a little bit of extracurricular. Some words after that pickup of 2. Priori, 77 yards in the first half, Rick, but if you take away the 53-yard run to start the game, pretty good stuff by the Wolverines.
Absolutely. You know, as a running back, when you break out that early and you pop that big run, it's a good momentum builder usually. It gets your confidence up, and Woodland Hills has done everything they can, and they've successfully shut him down since then.
It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Wolverines. Stahl will fake the handoff, gets pressure, dumps it out, has his man out of the backfield. Aaron Novak has been good defensively. Novak is able to get forward, picks up 7. That's about a yard short of the first down.
Brought down by number 1,
Nasir Taylor makes another tackle. He's undaunted. He has 2 touchdowns called back. He has 2 touchdowns anyway on the night. He's everywhere. He's made some plays defensively, made some plays special teams wise, and also made some plays offensively for the Woodland Hills. Nice tackle to undercut the bigger Novak, who's 5'11", 205. Taylor goes 6'1", but he's 185.
I see we got number 47, Caleb Brevard, in there at linebacker for Woodland Hills. Looks like Sidney Summers taking a rest.
Stahl rolling to the right side, first down. He steps to the far side, right near midfield. He didn't quite get there, but he needed one, and Mason Stahl picked up 2. First down for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders.
First down for the Highlanders.
Stahl rolling to the right, got away from Torrin Best and then turned it up, but stepped out again. We saw upfield Marcus Taylor. Twice we've seen Stahl maybe shy away from contact.
Probably the smart move.
Not disagreeing, just saying. First and 10 for Baldwin near midfield. Stahl shotgun, quick fire to the near side. Nazir Penn has it. The wide receiver screen read well. Coming up to make the tackle, Rodney Denard. And I see a flag down there, potentially a holding call on the edge. Latchett was over there, and I think it's going to go against the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders.
Yeah, again, that's a second or third time that the Baldwin has tried to run that little bubble screen out, and Woodland Hills is all over it. There were 3 white jerseys on the ball immediately. Offense for I'm not sure what number it was out there, but he had no choice. He had to hold or let his guy get smacked.
Yeah, block in the back, and you see there it is right there. It was Latchett, came up and got into the back of Jaquan Smith.
Woodland Hills just across that line of scrimmage a little bit too fast for them to recover and make the block.
First and 20, Stahl firing down the middle of the field. Latchett on the run. What an interception by Rodney Denard. He reached up with one hand, tipped it, has it, breaks a tackle. He's up to midfield, 40. He's going to go 50, far sideline, 40. Cuts inside Baldwin territory to 35, still on his feet inside the 30. Finally dragged down from behind at the 27-yard line. I'm thinking that flag may be a face mask against Baldwin. It was at the point of interception way back at the Woodland Hills 27-yard line. What an excellent individual effort and a great athletic play by Rodney Denard.
Oh, excellent play. How do you even describe what he just did? Great play, goes up, gets it with one hand, brings it down with 2.
After interception, personal foul, face mask, defensive team. And it was penalty half the distance for the stronger foul.
Face mask is against Denard, according to Dave Baird.
That's an interesting call. That's not one you see too often.
Stahl on the post better, we can watch it. There's the great interception, regardless of what happened on the face mask. Denard might have stiff-armed.
I have to assume that's what happened here.
Yeah, there it is. That's a good call.
That is a good call.
That's going to be a half the distance penalty from the 27. It should take it back to about
It's a shame. Meredith
13.
comes up here and makes a killer block. You see it right there.
And a great return, too, by Denard.
Very nice. Doesn't take away from everything he did there on that play. Still an unbelievable interception. Woodland Hills keeps the ball, keeps his train rolling.
That's just unfortunate because you're trying to stiff arm a man. You're not trying to face mask a man, as is. It's more of the case when you're trying to make a tackle, you're going to get a face mask. Just, you put your hand out to stiff arm and it went into the face mask.
Yeah, and as you watch the replay, there was that little bit of jerk at the end where if he just makes the contact with the face mask, even if he's grabbing it and he lets go, that's not a call. But there was that little bit of he threw him, and it probably what ended up being what broke him off that left side.
Denard has a touchdown. Nazir Taylor, a couple of touchdowns. The Wolverines firing on all cylinders here tonight. The big difference were last week they fell behind 28-0. Made a nice comeback, scoring 23 unanswered against a pretty good Gateway team who's winning tonight. Tonight a different story on the road for Woodland Hills in their Allegheny Nine conference opener.
Absolutely. Woodland Hills is just appeared to come out ready to play, well prepared by the coaching staff. They like I said at halftime, everything's just clicking on all cylinders. No matter what they're trying, any play they're calling, it's breaking open. And just looking forward to seeing what else they're going to do here tonight.
By the way, with the Taylor 20-yard touchdown run, the mercy rule in effect. Woodland Hills up by 35 points here in the second half with a 38-3 lead. So Rick talked about maybe some subs coming in. We'll try to keep track of that as this half progresses. After the half the distance, Woodland Hills at their own 13. We do get a new man in at quarterback for Woodland Hills. And a big run for Woody High. They hand it off to William Clark, who goes from the 13 all the way out to the Baldwin 36, a 23-yard pickup. Yarbrough is in the quarterback. Gavin Yarbrough, the freshman. A nice run there by William Clark, the sophomore.
Yeah, a little backside pull. Just everybody just collapses that left side, and he's got all day. And Woodland Hills just seems to every year have an endless stream of athletic running backs, and seemingly whoever they plug in there is going to gain yards.
Yarbrough will hand it off this time. A lot less yardage, maybe a yard. This man carrying the football was Adrian Nanji. Give him a yard to the 38, tackled there by Bauman for Baldwin. Second down and 9. 2.5 clock turns here in the third quarter. Woodland Hills leading 38-3. Yarbrough under center. Yarbrough hands it off. It is Nanji once again, excuse me. So 2 actually. Michael Bradley. So they went sequentially 27, 28, 29. Fooling me every time.
Marcus Taylor, step up. It's your turn.
That's right. So Bradley picks up 2.
The ever more rare fullback handoff there. Something you don't see in any football level anymore.
Sometimes you rarely even see a fullback in any offense anywhere.
That's correct. Everybody's gone to this spread set. As we see here.
Low man in the backfield. We have a wing back to the near side. Yarbrough under center.
Jerame Turner there jumping off sides a little anxious. I think it's first couple plays on the field for him. Wants to get out there and make that hook block.
3rd and 6 becomes a 3rd and 11. The clock will fire up right away. 1:20 to go in the third quarter. Woodland Hills has put the reserves in after taking a 38-3 lead on the 20-yard touchdown run by Nazir Taylor here in the third quarter. Fake the handoff. Yarbrough's first pass as a varsity member is completed to the wingback on the near side. That's Michael Bradley. Bradley picks up 5 yards to the 40.
Nice play there. Nice play there by the backup quarterback. You know, when you put these kids in, you're not expecting them to put a 15 play drive together. You want to see him execute on 1 or 2 plays, make the right calls. He makes a nice play there under pressure, hits the running back coming out of the backfield, picks up some positive yards, puts us in a better position to punt.
The freshman, Gavin Yarbrough, 1 for 1.
Freshman
in his career. With a short pass, not enough for a first down. So
I don't know that there's ever been another freshman quarterback sniff the field for Woodland Hills.
Yarbrough's pass, not enough. Whitehurst will kick it away with under a minute to go. Good high spot. Whitehurst has been good in the punt game. That takes a great Woodland Hills roll. It's inside the 15, inside the 10, rolling inside the 5. It's going to be down at the 3-yard line.
That'll close out the third quarter. And, you know, watching that play, when things are going your way, the ball just bounces your way, seemingly.
57-yard punt for Whitehurst. End of the third quarter. See the scoreboard, it tells it all. Woodland Hills 38 and Baldwin 3. We're listening to the Wolverines here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, watching them as well. Also on the MSA Sports Network. It is all presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Fourth quarter begins. Technically it began. Baldwin had to take a timeout with the mercy rule. The clock did start. And again, another personnel issue for Baldwin in the first game of 2017 alongside Rick McIntyre, Bob Workwist on the Woodland Hills Football Network. State Senator Jay Costa not only brings you coverage, but he also is the sponsor of the player of the game, Patrick T. Lanigan. The Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home will sponsor the play of the game. We'll have those for you afterwards here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Yeah, as it stands right now, Bob, it's going to be a tough call for player of the game, as much as Woodland Hills has kind of spread it around offensively.
I have a candidate in mind for the player of the game.
I'm sure you do.
And a candidate for the play of the game.
The punt return is going to be tough to top.
Which we'll talk about cloak and dagger. Long pass, it almost be caught. Whitehurst had the coverage on the near side to Dre Howell. And Howell actually made the adjustment on that pass, but it's incomplete. Second down and 10.
That's about the fourth or fifth time we've heard Whitehurst's name called out. He's putting a pretty good game together here.
He was on the coverage, but he didn't locate the ball. And the receiver looked up Dre Howells for the pass from Jeremy Jenkins. He made the adjustment actually near the 30. Really should have caught that football, I think.
I think Michael did a nice job there late coming in and making a play.
He did. He did. To his credit, he did interfere with the concentration of Dre Howells. Second down and 10. Ball went their own 3. Handoff is in the backfield. That is Priori. He runs to the right, picks up short yardage to pick up a 3 to the 6-yard line. Over there, amongst others, Joshua Rawlings on the play for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, nice tackle there on the right side. He breaks that. He could have popped that right down that sideline. There wasn't a whole lot behind the defensive front.
So the initial man on the contact was Christopher Jones, the junior. So a good job by the defense. They played well all night. Really, the only blemish, that 53-yard run by Priori. Other than that, that led to the first points of the game. Rolling to the near side, Jenkins' flag is down. The pass is incomplete, and that's holding. I don't think the holding was in the end zone.
It looked to me like he was in the end zone when he was held.
Correction, that's number 6, Mason Stahl.
Dave Barry says no. Stahl went a quarterback. His pass is incomplete. And Woodland Hills will most likely decline that. 4th down and 7 from the 6-yard line. So another punt situation for Baldwin. Jake Monroe's been busy. He kicked the 26-yard field goal, which gave Baldwin the lead. And he's punted often.
Yeah, it was really only that one little hiccup down here on the other end where he kind of squibbed it out of bounds. This is a nice opportunity for the special teams for Woodland Hills here, with Baldwin deep in their own zone.
Yeah, Denard to the far side. I believe that's Taylor to the near hash at the Baldwin 35.
This is a dangerous situation here for Baldwin.
For the Highlanders, 35, Jake Monroe.
Monroe, the senior, moving around in the end zone to our left. Has the snap. Pressure came up the middle, and it is blocked. And Monroe gets it, and that's going to be a safety. Second week in a row that the Wolverines has registered a safety.
Sorry to step on you there, Bob. Looked like Caleb Brevard came up on either the middle or the right side there, made a nice effort, gets his hands up just as he's coached, gets to the foot of the kicker and blocks that right in the end zone.
I think he got his left hand. He was engaged with the blocker coming up that got He got his left hand out and blocked the kick. That's his right hand, excuse me. And it is Caleb Brevard. So
excellent individual effort there. Gets through the first man, fights him all the way to the ball, gets that hand up just enough to get that ball blocked. Like I said, this is a dangerous situation for Baldwin back down there. I was not expecting that to get blocked. I was expecting to see that to be a nice return for Woodland Hills.
Special teams last week against Gateway Rick put Woodland Hills behind the 8 ball, giving up a touchdown 14 seconds in. Totally opposite here tonight. They've been the key, I think, actually, the spark in this game was the punt return by Nazir Taylor, the 72-yard touchdown.
Absolutely, and they've done a good job. They've had plenty of kickoff coverage opportunities. With the exception of that first kickoff here in the second half, they gave up a little bit too much of a return. Outside of that, every facet of Woodland Hills special teams has been really solid.
There you see Tim Bostard on the far sideline. He's 8 minutes and 52 seconds away from the first win ever at Woodland Hills, not credited to George Novak.
See Coach Melvin Cobbs working his running backs back there.
Well, he's got a big-time duty. He's got enough of them.
He's got a lot of kids under his wing.
And they all have done well in the first 2 weeks.
He was our starting quarterback my senior year, and I got a lot of love from Melvin. I'm really happy to see him on that sidelines. He's got a lot of knowledge, and really happy to see him participating in Wolverines football.
A lot of ex-players on the sideline, including head coach Tim Bostard.
21, Jeffrey Williams.
Free kick, Jake Monroe will boot it from his own 20-yard line. He boots it over the head of the return man. They have to go back and pick it up near the 20-yard line, and returning it, Jaquan Smith to the far side. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, cuts it back inside Baldwin territory, breaks the tackle, tries to stiff arm around another man. He's all the way inside the Baldwin 35 down to the 31-yard line. But of course, a flag is down behind the play. Dave Berry says during the return, a block in the back against the Woodland Hills Wolverines. So we just praise the special teams. They haven't been perfect.
No, I mean, I didn't see the block in the back, but I imagine it's just a matter of he engaged when the guy's back was turned, not so much of a dirty hit hitting in the back. Let's see if we can see it here.
That's certainly not it.
That's if I'm grading this film, I don't take a point off for that block.
That was the block they're talking about.
That was the block. That's right where the flag was.
I thought his shoulder was able to get in front of the defender.
Looked like the Baldwin defender just kind of turned at the last minute. There was contact to the back, but it's one of those, I think if this is a close game,
yeah,
I don't think that flag is.
You read my mind, which is scary, and probably a short read on your end.
Sometimes I wish I could read my own.
1st and 10, that takes the ball back to the 20-yard line. Woodland Hills at their own 20. Hand off to the second man through, and he's getting nothing. Swallowed up by the interior line.
Looked like there was a potential hole there, a little bit of a slippery handle on the exchange there.
Jaden Edmonds stopped at the line of scrimmage. And again, the freshman, Gavin Yarbo, in at quarterback for Woodland Hills, leading 40-3 here on the road at Baldwin. 2nd down and 10. Pitch it, coming to the near side. That is Seth Beadle at a carry earlier. He's only able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So the Baldwin defense doing a good job. Matt Ballman comes over to the near side. Got some help from Aaron Novak. Novak has been good at the linebacker spot for Baldwin tonight.
Yeah, we've mentioned his name a handful of times. Anytime that there's been a big defensive play, it seems like for Baldwin, Novak's been involved.
There he is coming from the middle linebacker slot. Also up here to make the play, Dre Howells from his cornerback position for Baldwin. Give Beadle 1, 3rd down and 9 for Woodland Hills at their own 21. Yarbo will direct traffic. He's going to come under center on the 3rd and long. The lefty runs into a guard. That kind of threw off the timing of that play.
Yeah, the last 2 snaps there that I've noticed.
Did get the handoff to Armani
kind of a
Bailey.
sloppy exchange from the center to the quarterback, but again, these are some of the younger kids. you know, as you progress as a football player, you see the timing better, and you get these things down. Quarterback didn't clear out enough time for that left guard to get through and make that counter block, and that collapsed that whole right side. Didn't give the running back any room.
Ten ball carriers tonight,
Wow.
including that run by Armani Bailey.
You think if I put my jersey on, they'll let me run one?
You'd be good in that jumbo set near the goal line.
I don't think I could make it to the field in 6 minutes.
It's advantage of last week, Rick.
Yeah, I was ready to go.
Doing the sideline coverage for us last week. Adam Gusky is on assignment, so Rick comes up into the booth. Woodland Hills with just 10 or maybe 12 men. There's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, they had 11, but just the wrong personnel, and that happens a lot when the reserves are in the game.
Absolutely, and this is all, you know, I can remember when I was a sophomore, I didn't play very much, and these were the moments where, you know, as a sophomore, you pray for that first half to get big, and you get your opportunity out there. And this is just great learning experience for, you know, 2 years down the road, these kids that are freshmen, sophomores, they're going to, you know, call back on some of these experiences when maybe you made the wrong play, maybe you got your head licked a little bit, and you learn from it, and you overcome it.
It's a cliche, but it's a true cliche. There's nothing like game action and game speed.
That's absolutely correct. You can practice all you want, but until that, you know, the other team's on the other side, your team's not coming at you nearly as hard.
Fans in the stands, the lights are brighter on Friday nights. Woodland Hills leading 40-3. Whitehurst on to kick it away. The deep man comes to the near side. It's going to bounce in front of Jaron Kelly, but then it's going to come and make a left turn and go out of bounds at the at the Woodland Hills 46-yard line. That's where Baldwin will get possession. Mercy rule was in effect with the 37-point lead for Woodland Hills, so the clock turns. Of all the rule changes, I think my most favorite for several reasons, including from the broadcaster perspective, is the mercy rule. Because rarely do you see those great comebacks.
Immediately our hourly rate goes up.
That's a perspective I never thought of. You can catch the Woodland Hills Football Network on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/WHF Football, WH Football Network. Stall to throw deep to the near side as a receiver breaking Nasir Penn. He got behind the defensive back, but the pass is incomplete on the coverage. Tymir Davis for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I think if that ball stays in bounds and comes down on those hash marks, I think that might end up being a complete pass. It was a nice pattern. That kid's got some wheels on him.
That's a case where Davis, speaking of wheels, he got his feet tangled up and maybe not of play. 57 degrees. It's been a beautiful night, 2 great weeks in a row. You see the replay. Pretty good pass from, I think that was Jenkins who was back in there. You see stopping to look for the football. That's a mistake when you're defensive back, and that gave Naz Penn a chance to get open, but it was incomplete. Throwing the football, Jenkins, he's going to be forced out of the pocket. Now he throws on the run, has his man. The catch is made. Did he stay in bounds? Nasir Penn, first down catch inside the 20-yard line of Woodland Hills. They're going to spot him out at the 18.
Yeah, if my memory serves, that's got to be the second biggest play of the game for Baldwin right now. Excellent job here. Going through his progression, nothing there, senses the pressure, rolls out right, sticks with it, and throws a bullet. Beautiful pass there, nice catch. Good, excellent job to get that foot in bounds.
30-yard pickup. Your memory does serve you correct. The second biggest play from scrimmage for Baldwin. Clock turns, 3:25 to go, fourth quarter. Jenkins the throw, forced out again, fires it to Penn. They've got some chemistry on this drive. Penn is dropped down there by Jeffrey Williams, also Elise Rash. Pickup of 3, I'll give him 4 to the 14.
Yeah, it's a nice little drive Baldwin's putting together here, and this is where, like we spoke about earlier, these learning moments, and some of these young kids out there for Woodland Hills, now your back's up against your end zone, how are you going to react?
You got first team going against second team or third team, so you're right. It is a great learning experience for the Woodland Hills. Substitutes, Frank Owusu checks into the lineup for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders.
I'm glad you tackled that one.
He'll come out to the sideline nearest. Actually, he's a tight end to the near sideline. Penn comes to the near boundary. Jenkins will look to throw once again. Steps up, firing to the end zone. Too tall. for Owusu, who's a big target at 6'2". It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
That was just a textbook throwaway ball. Nobody really open. The one man he had a chance on was that the post coming in there from the middle. Threw it up there where the only guy can get it would be, I believe that was a tight end coming out of there.
It was Owusu, tight end linebacker, or tight end and wide receiver sometimes, just into the game. It'll be 3rd and 6. Clock winds under 2 minutes. Twins go to the left. It's Penn and Kelly for Baldwin. Dre Howes to the near boundary. Owusu is a wing back to the right. Jenkins will fake the handoff, looks for an option, can still throw his man out of the backfield. Catch is made by Owusu. He is undercut at the 3, but that's a 1st down. Nice tackle at the end of the play by Woodland Hills' Antonio Williams. But Owusu is slow getting up, but he is up, and that's a 1st down for the Fighting Highlanders.
Yeah, Owusu took a nice shot, looked like right in the thigh there. That's going to hurt tomorrow.
An eligible receiver downfield. We've seen that happen a couple times to Baldwin. That's going to erase the 1st down catch.
It's a very hard thing as an offensive lineman. You don't know where that ball is when the quarterback's moving. And when you have a kind of a sense of timing, and once that timing is gone, you think the ball's upfield, it's real easy to start drifting past that line of scrimmage.
So as a lineman, you're saying they talk about quarterbacks with the eternal clock, linemen as well with the eternal clock.
Absolutely. When you know the play and you know it's a 3-step drop, you know you have a beat and then the ball's gone.
Makes it 3rd and 11, under a minute to go. Jeremy Jenkins will roll to the near side, throws it underneath Owusu off his hands, and good defense, a host of Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Like Antonio Williams stepped up there and put either his hand or the helmet on the ball there.
Gets the pass defense. Antonio Williams, the sophomore, 5'10".
Nice play.
Shoulder helmet, doesn't matter. He got enough of Owusu.
And that's a very easy play for one of those young kids to come up there and try to make the highlight reel, trying to take that guy's head off. Nice disciplined play, go for the ball, make a clean play, don't penalize your team.
This will be the last play of the game unless there's a timeout.
That field goal is good.
They kick a field goal. So Jake Monroe is going to bookend the field goals. His first from 26, this one from 36. It's just going to make the final score a little bit closer. Mercy rule in effect. The clock winds down to zeros. Woodland Hills gets their first victory of 2017. First victory for Tim Bostard as the head coach of Woodland Hills. Your final score, the Wolverines 40, the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders 6. A lot of good tonight for Woodland Hills, Rick.
Absolutely. Again, you said it. Timmy Bostard's first win for the Wolverines that wasn't under George Novak. I can't be more proud of Tim Bostard and the job he did with this crew tonight.
And he gets a little bit of the Gatorade as to celebrate victory number 1.
Are you sure that's Gatorade, or is he just that sweaty?
Remember, Rick said that, Tim, not Bob. I saw the shirt earlier. It didn't look that dark gray. So.
Timmy knows I love him. I grew up with Timmy. There was nobody else that was going to be able to step up in the situation that he was handed and take over this team in the way Timmy has.
Jake Monroe kicked a 26-yard field goal for Baldwin. 8:39 left in the first quarter, 3-0 lead. Woodland Hills scored the next 40 points unanswered. Nazir Taylor, a 72-yard punt return. Jaquan Smith, a 7-yard run. Those two late in the first quarter within 58 seconds. That was a big span in this game. Put Woodland Hills up 14-3 after Chucky Hanchett kicked a couple of extra points. Rodney Denard, a 5-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. Hanchett, a 28-yard field goal, and Anthony Bullock, a 4-yard touchdown run with a minute 43 to go before halftime, made the score 31-3 Woodland Hills. After the first 2 quarters, Nazir Taylor, who on the play before had a touchdown reception erased by penalty, had a 20-yard touchdown run, Hanchett extra point, made it 38-3. That put the mercy rule in effect. The safety as Caleb Brevard blocked the punt, and then I believe Brevard tackled Jake Monroe in the end zone. That made it 40-6, and then Jake Monroe kicked a 36-yard field goal as time expired for Baldwin. That made your final score 40-6. Back with our post-game analysis, more of our post-game analysis as Woodland Hills celebrates a 40-6 win on the road against Baldwin. You're tuned in to the Woodland Hills Football Network, also the MSA Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at Baldwin Stadium with Rick McIntyre, Bob Workwith on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Your final score, first win of 2017 for Woodland Hills, comes in the Allegheny Nine Conference by a score of 40-6 over the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders. And Rick, you talked about it. You know Tim, playing with Tim, you know him a long time. When you can say something with a first, it's the first victory for Tim Bossert as the head coach. First victory other than a head coach other than George Novak. And you see Coach Tim Bossert has the game ball there at midfield. It's a pretty special moment. Tim looks kind of understated, but we're way up here. But I'm sure he's got to be very excited and very proud of the way Woodland Hills rebounded after the Week 0 loss against Gateway.
Well, you know, with Timmy, something with Coach Novak being here for so many years, there's the idea of the continuity. Always, Woodland Hills has been consistent in certain things, and one of them is being understated. And Tim Bossert fits that mold to a T.
Wait, George was understated?
Coach Novak's advice to us every time if we ever had to talk to press after a game was when you lose, say little. When you win, say less. And any interview you ever saw with Coach, he complimented the other team 10 times more than he said anything about his own. And Timmy Bossert obviously is cut from the same cloth. You know, was mentored under Coach Novak, and he's got the same mentality.
Great job by the staff here and our fine technicians. Adam Gussie, our executive producer, Lee Schaefer the third, doing the job. Joe Slick as well. Renee Schaefer helping on the graphics. Steve Mutzer, there you see all the help. All kind of streaming support. It takes a village really to get it done, and we appreciate everyone staying with us through the technical difficulties. We'll take a final break. When we come back, the Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, the State Senator Jay Costa player of the game. Your final score, Woodland Hills 40 and Baldwin 6. It's the Woodland Hills Football Network on the MSA Sports Network, all presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association.
So that was 72.
This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities. Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342. There are few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barbers Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barbers Inn in Swissvale. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barbers Inn. Today's broadcast of Woodland Hills football is brought to you by the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club. Since 1905, Rotary clubs across the globe have brought business and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club meets every Friday at noon at Shelley Pie. Rotary, service above self.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back one final time at Baldwin High School with Rick McIntyre. Bob Work was handing out some superlatives. And for the second week in a row, number one is involved. Nazir Taylor, the 6'1 senior. He kind of sparked things. Keep in mind, he intercepted the pass, Rick, 189 yards for a touchdown. Flags went flying, came off the board. Baldwin was able to kick a field goal. Woodland Hills struggled in their first two offensive possessions. Nazir Taylor turned it around late in the first quarter on special teams.
Absolutely. You know, we off the air we were talking about there were a handful of plays there that could have been a play of the game for any game. I think the Rodney Denard interception was one of the most athletic plays I've seen in a few years. But I think the play that we went with was the punt return. I think it had the bigger impact and.
I think it gave Woodland Hills just confidence.
Absolutely.
Really got some swagger going after the 72-yard punt return with 1:35 to go in the first quarter by Nazir Taylor. That is our choice for the Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game. We don't have to go far to get the State Senator Jay Costa player of the game. Number one was everywhere for Woodland Hills. Mentioned the interception return. That came off the books. He had the punt return. He was good on special teams, good on defense, good on offense. Later in the game, the last touchdown of the game for Woodland Hills, Nazir Taylor on the play before caught a touchdown pass. Another flag went flying. Next play, he runs it in for 20 yards. And Taylor was just the most noticeable and probably the best player on the field.
Yeah, I don't think we said anybody's name more than him all night. Obviously, the punt return, getting that play of the game, and it was, like you said early, it really got the ball rolling in Woodland Hills' direction. Turned that momentum around after maybe a possible hiccup there after we had that, the pick six wiped off the board. That punt return really got everything going for Woodland Hills, and they just steamrolled everything after that.
So Woodland Hills, 1-1 now in the season, but more importantly, Rick, 1-0. And you always break it down. You get a week 0 game, which is a non-conference game, but then you get a fresh start. And on the road, an impressive victory tonight for Woodland Hills.
Absolutely. And there's no discounting the on-the-road factor. Everything's a little more comfortable at home. You got your home, the crowd in front of you, a little more comfortable. Everything's a little bit easier to do when you're at home. And for them to come on the road after the Gateway loss last week, which I know was kind of a bitter pill to swallow. Again, I keep saying it. They bounced back tonight. And they did everything I was looking for them to do to pull out this road victory and give Timmy Bostard his first win as a Wolverine coach.
Good job, Rick.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Final score from Baldwin High School, Woodland Hills 40 and Baldwin 6. Thanks to everyone involved with the Woodland Hills Football Network. Thanks to everyone for listening or watching the Woodland Hills Wolverines victorious tonight. First victory, congratulations to Tim Bostard as the Wolverines win by 34. Next up for Woodland Hills, back home at the Wolverina, more specifically George A. Novak Field at the Wolverina, back in the Allegheny Nine Conference play against the Fox Chapel Foxes. Bob Work was bidding you a great night, and thank you again for listening and watching the Woodland Hills Football Network on the MSA Sports Network, all presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine Football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2017.